Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. And yeah, I know I've been not active as much making videos. I mean, it was the end of the season and starting the A and B season, and then we had all the product shortages that's happening with A and B and getting content. And we decided now, Ascent Toronto happened. That obviously, for those there, I didn't attend afterwards due to a couple of reasons. One of which being I was on vacation before Ascent Toronto. I came back Sunday, the week of Toronto. So as in like oh god, Toronto was the 25th. I came back home the 20th, and I just didn't have time to catch up on life before Toronto happened. I did no playtesting, I did nothing, and it was just better for me to skip than drive 9 hours and be miserable the entire time. Especially when it came down to our playtesting group, Knox, we playtested a lot of Sylvie Tamer, and then we were playtesting the Vanitas list, and I wasn't happy with how Vanitas shaped out. Granted, now we have the BNR. That's going to change a couple things. 3 visits is going to get errated back to a version, but that's going to be later on in the video. But long story short, before I give a breakdown for those who are just here to watch the summary, I'm pretty much retiring. Quitting the game of Grand Archive as a whole. I'm going to be mostly playing casually due to part of Valkyries. If you haven't heard, Valkyries creating a content creator league that I'm a part of. So I'm going to be finishing up that league before I fully quit Grand Archive as a whole. Now, there's going to be a lot of speculation. I'm going to try to answer a lot of different things, a lot of things that state with what I currently am active with and what that sort of means for it as a whole. I'm going to take off the hood. No, I'm going to leave the hood on. I'm going to leave the hood on. So what that means is that Gabbery is going to halt production. Gabbery is no longer going to be an active website. Gabbery will lapse and end up being closing. What's on there now is going to stay on there until the lapse of the domain. I'm going to leave it up until the domain has expired, and then when the domain expires, it will be closing down. Due to me not playing the game anymore, I'm not going to put the time and effort into updating Gabbery. I'm sorry for those who enjoy it, but I feel like we also have so many good websites now between like Sarah's Map, Sylvie, and Fractal that one of those sites can easily pick up the slack of hosting the spoilers. They're pretty much well positioned for it, and we no longer need just a dedicated spoiler website anymore to keep people active in what's happening in the community or in the game as a whole in terms of spoilers. In terms of Noximus, the group's going to sort of stay together. Bright, Bob, Zach, Azul, Clem, all the amazing people. I love them all to death. We played this a decent amount leading up to this event. The team as a whole hasn't performed where I fully expect to be, but we also discussed this as a whole internally. We knew we weren't really playtesting as much as some of the other teams like Chess Club and TCG. We became more of a brew group than we were a competitive playtest group. We still have our brews, we still have our tests that we're doing, but we weren't testing as hard as others. And with that, I'm going to leave the team as it is. They could continue to do whatever they want with the brand. I'm happy to leave them. Maximus is still going to be owned by me as a whole, but I'm just mostly taking a step away from the Grand Archive side of things, and I'm going to let them do whatever they want to do. Like I said, they're amazing group of people, great players. I love them all to death. I will never change anything in the world that I met or done anything with the team. I will never regret the times I had playing with them at events. Now, what this means for the YouTube channel. YouTube channel is pretty much halting videos, I guess. I'm no longer going to do meta reports. I mean, I'm not playing the game anymore. I'm not going to be doing meta reports. I'm taking a full step back. That means that the channel is going to be sort of inactive. I might explore some other games, other TCGs. I mean, I'm looking at the Gundam TCG, for example. I might try that. But I'm not really doing competitive events anymore. So there's not really much for me to update meta report wise because I'm not even updating Gabri anymore. And now for the bulk of why. It's a mixed bag. I mean, nothing on Weebs of the Shore themselves in terms of the product itself. I think Grand Archive is a great game. Grand Archive is the card quality is great. What they come out was great. Recollection sets are a really good hit. They're trying to reinvent what card games are doing. I mean, they're trying to do different things to make the game more accessible, trying to do things to make the game more work for other people. I mean, we've seen with the foils, they reworked the foils every single set, and the foils rework was great, and the foils have come out, I think, almost near perfectly at this point. I mean, I don't know what else you could do to them. I'm going to say near perfectly because you never know. There could be a chance for an improvement somewhere. They've never been at all. So I'm going to say near perfect. I think the product and game itself is great. I just isn't the game for me. I really started playing Grand Archive early on. I liked the mechanics. I liked playing Rye. I liked playing spell decks. And then the game started evolving more into a way I didn't enjoy as much. I mean, we hit the slime meta. I sort of enjoyed Luxum, and now we have the Vinnies, which is now going to be nerfed. But it's still just, it's not for me, man. It's really not. Talking to others, it's a very Yu-Gi-Oh feel to the game, which, I mean, I'm not a Yu-Gi-Oh fan enjoyer. I don't enjoy the gameplay of Yu-Gi-Oh. So it's not something that I see myself continuing on doing. This also goes on top of that. I can't really travel for events. Living here in New England, it's expensive. I mean, we just got Santa Clara and Seattle announced for North America. That's literally all the way across the country. Like literally, I'm in the Northeast, like up here, and Seattle and Santa Clara are like over here. Like that's across the country. I can't afford to do that anymore. I mean, it's just not reasonable. I'm 30 years old. I'm an adult. I have a mortgage. I have things to pay responsibilities for. I just can't keep on traveling for events across the country. If I had more a sense closer or more events sort of laid out, more sort of spread out, like sort of flesh and blood, then sure, maybe it could have been a reason for it, but I just can't. I can't afford it. Um, and then I know some people ask like, "Oh, Rob, what about you casting?" I given up on casting. I don't know what to do. I mean, I'm not going to talk about who was picked for these upcoming events. All I know is I wasn't picked. I mean, I don't hate anyone that was picked. I mean, Shinja has a hard job. There's a lot of good casters out there, so it just wasn't selected. I mean, it is what it is, and I'm not really. I just can't afford to keep on putting the time and effort into it to not see the reward. I mean, like I said, nothing wrong with the people selected. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with the production team or anything like that. Again, all great people. I'm not gonna bash anyone there. It's just something I'm not doing isn't making the standard of the cut, and it just is what it is. I had a great time casting TCG's Michigan. I had a great time casting the New Jersey Regional. I was enjoying casting with my partners Valk and those. I had Tyler from Michigan. Again, these are all great people. I love working with them. It's just I'm not making the cut somewhere, and at this point, I'm not sure what else to do as myself to, if I want to keep on putting the time and effort into it. You might see me cast other games, but not Grand Archive at this point. It's been an entire year, and that's around the corner. I just don't think I'm being selected anymore. But that's sort of where that goes. Like I said, I mean, other complaints is just generic complaints. I'm not a fan of full card erratas. Granted, 3 visits needed the errata. I mean, it needed it. I'm not a fan of it. It's just why I don't play certain games to begin with. But I mean, it's needed. That's a personal gripe. It's just a mechanic, personal play style for myself. I haven't been a fan of the meta of the last few sets and the playtesting and the way things sort of came out. Again, that's nothing on anyone. It's personal preference. I'm just not a fan of the way that we're being presented decks. I'm not a fan of certain things, and I'm just not enjoying it. And when you say you don't enjoy something, you take a step back, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm taking pretty much a hard step back from the game outside of the casual thing I talk to you about when we're playing Yetis because I have other obligations now at Thursday nights. I mean, again, I'm an adult. I have things, real life going on, and it's just sort of how it breaks out. Now, what this means for my collection is I'll probably be making a sale post soon for all my cards that isn't the base playsets. So keep an eye out for that. But I do want to thank you all for watching for the past year or so, watching all my content, watching all the creation I've done, watching pretty much everything I've done in the game and supporting me throughout. I've met some amazing people. I mean, shout out to Rex, shout out to Crown, Bright, Bob, Chef Zach, Clem, Zool, Bird's Eye, Limelight, Byfall, Cam, Steve, the whole Lineage Play crew, the whole Chess Club crew, the whole DCG crew. I mean, there's so many people in this game I have gotten to know and enjoy, and I enjoy talking to. There's a lot of people in this game I rather enjoyed, and I don't think I'll ever forget the community friends I made in this game. There's probably still people I'll talk to after the fact, but you probably won't see me active in Discord and such anymore for the game. But I know it sucks coming right after Ascent Toronto, but it is what it is. Yeah, that's all I got. And for the final time, and I won't see you guys next time. Peace.